Why are you writing?
Yay, welcome to Heralds of an Azure Omen. That's what we're calling ourselves, because it's cool and stuff.
Cool.
I am DM Taylor, and I am here with the 5 wonderful adventurers. Dante, who are you playing?
Hello, this is Dante Lee, playing King Rortrin Havrelson.
And who is this Rortrin?
Rortrin Havrelson is a half-elf wizard, son of a wizard hunter, and an elven and a maiden from the far west.
Was his father a person who hunted wizards, or a wizard who was a hunter?
Yeah, a wizard who was a hunter.
Okay.
Rortrin himself is a harvester. Who collects the finest furs and materials from animals and creates items to sell back to the civilized lands.
Excellent. George, who are you playing?
I'm playing Nicassius, an elf originally from Nalil. I got bored over there, so I came over to this part of the world to see if the rumors about the belly stones and the magics and such to protect that area were true, or if they're just sailors' tales being bantered around in port.
Excellent. Stephanie, who are you playing?
Breaker is a water genasi, also from Nilio, who rides a mountain goat and looks generally awesome and handsome.
Excellent. Jordan, who are you playing?
Greetings, I am Ragdal Fireforge, the Dwarven Smith. I worship the emerald and practice my smithing in honor of the emerald.
Excellent. And Chris, who are you playing?
I'm playing Crypt, an imp escaped from his master. He's become a bard, and he's trying to find his place in this new plane.
It's a hard knock life, isn't it? In the world. Excellent. In a back room, in a pub in the Cimmerian capital of Kirailo, a young scholar of law sits slouched with a heavy glass in his hand. He is a would-be revolutionary, possessing a level of naive enthusiasm far greater than that of any of his 7 companions. Comrades, he says, sloshing cider under the crusty tabletop. Today is an auspicious day, the first day of the first month of Imperial Year 842. That is, 8421. And, grumbles a companion, muttering to his own drink. We live today, says the revolutionary, unabashed, in what the poet foretold to be the golden day, the most auspicious occurrence any of us, or our children, or our children's children, will ever see. Today is a day for underdogs, my friends, for the likes of us to know heaven is watching, when a single prayer is heard like a whole chorus of bishops screeching. He smirks, draining his drink and stealing an olive from a bored companion. Friends, today is our day. Today is the day we rise. And just then, only hours before these revolutionaries will be arrested, tortured, and executed, ironically not for the well-deserved crime of treason, but for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, at this very moment, 500 miles away, on the broad Saxtian highway, 5 stalwart strangers band together for safety and companionship, traveling northward for their own reasons. Perhaps isolated from civilization as they are, they will escape the horror descending upon the world in this, the ancient poet's so-called Golden Day. You are traveling on the Saxtian Highway, about 100 miles northward of the port city of Kales, very close to the unguarded Shana border. In about 40 miles, you will reach a crossroads where the highway meets the old Imperial Road, which will take you either east toward Mamnu or west into Shana. Those of you seeking dangerous adventure are likely heading westward, where Shana is Shana's capital of civilization. Higothos is about 550 miles away. Those of you seeking trade or other more mundane concerns are likely headed eastward, where in 300 miles you can reach the Manurian city of Durenji, a stop along the way toward Imperial Cimmerian. Now, I know that was a whole bunch of names that mean nothing, and that's okay. We'll take things as they go. So you guys have been traveling together for maybe just a few days or a few weeks in some of your cases. Who of you were traveling together for the longest time, do you think?
I think it would be Ragdal and Rortrin. And as we are companions, and who are seeking our fortune as craftsmen and adventurers.
Very cool. And how long have you guys been traveling?
I would say about, would you say a month? Yeah, a month.
Excellent. And are any of the rest of you traveling? Were you traveling in a party before you met up with these guys along the road?
I was probably traveling by myself for a bit before I found these two.
All right.
I just kind of tagged along.
They seem friendly enough.
Yeah.
So, as most ordinary people don't like the sight of imps because, they tend to be evil and to do mischievous things and to curse people, and generally they tell somebody that an evil wizard is around. So people don't really like seeing you a lot. Do you hide your identity when you go around traveling? Can you disguise yourself?
I don't think due to just my physical nature I could hide myself very well.
Okay.
And to be fair, I do look like pure nightmare fuel.
Understandable.
So I probably just hung out in the back strumming an instrument and just try to not look like a threat.
Okay.
So I wouldn't get stabbed on sight.
Rortrin probably allowed Crypt on because I can't wait to get my hands on that hide.
Oh no, that's horrible. Do you pretend to be Rortrin's
You may not touch my goat.
Because that would probably allow people to not just kill you on sight.
If the situation suits me.
Okay. Excellent. And Nicassius, how long have you been with the group?
Oh, probably not too terribly long. I would have set out with the mule,
Okay.
and just probably run into them along the way.
All right. And what about Breaker?
Probably the same. I'm not really one for group
Okay.
ambitions.
So, as you do, a bunch of lone wolves who all happen to be along the same highway just kind of run into each other, resenting each other's company, but knowing that it's probably smart to stay together. The nice thing about having a circle around the campfire is everybody has their own dark corner they can sit in and brood about their past. You don't really get that in a building with 4 walls, depending on how many there are of you, I suppose. So, what we're going to do, unless there's an uprising and you guys just absolutely hate it, is we need to keep track of rations for traveling days. I'm not going to ask you guys to track water, because that seems to me maybe just a little bit of an extra unnecessary step. So rations are required technically 1 a day. You're allowed to eat half a ration in a day, and that counts as going half a day without food. Every whole day you go without food, you get a level of exhaustion. Eating a full day's worth of food resets your exhaustion level. So what this means is just try to have enough food for the journey. If you find yourself maybe running low, maybe alternate days of taking half rations and then eating a full meal so that you're not getting more than like a level of exhaustion at a time. Rations at their base cost are going to be 5 silver. If you're buying large amounts, you can probably get discounts on them. Everybody, for the moment, just take 30 rations. I assume that you guys set out planning on having enough rations for your journeys. Yes.
I do have the ability to find food and water for up to 5 people each day.
Well, that's pretty sweet. You should definitely make advantage of that. That was something I meant to nerf and forgot, so
You
good
have,
job getting that.
you have forgotten.
If I started with rations, should I add them to that?
Add them to it. So I'm going to let you guys travel faster than the base rules in the game are. You can travel at normal speed. This means that you can go 25 miles in a day. You can go fast to go 50 miles in a day. This gives you a disadvantage on perception rolls. Or you can go slow at it's like 18 miles a day. This lets you stealth as you're traveling. You guys can decide how you're doing it.
I think, we aren't expecting any trouble, and I don't think that there's anything that we're going to be looking forward, or nothing that we really need to get to really quickly. So, normal speed, indeed for now.
Makes sense to me.
I'm in no rush.
All right. Now the Saxtian Highway is a relatively lovely place. The city of Saxtis. You all probably arrived on the coast to the south. Saxtis is a traditionally human country. The prevailing philosophy is that all living creatures have a potential spark of sapience in them, and that all inanimate objects have a potential spark of sentience. So there's a lot of respect just kind of given to everything. Saxtis is pretty unique in the world as welcoming all races among their peoples, especially in the cities. More rural provinces don't tend to look terribly kindly on humans. Especially the orcs and the elves, and probably humans, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. And probably water genasi, because, what does Breaker look like?
He looks generally human, but just not human enough. He has
Okay,
like a bluish cast to his skin.
Okay.
His-
Does he have, like, scales? Does he have
No.
seaweed hair?
No, he has.
Is
He has-
his skin like glistening with water?
It
and
does
stuff?
glisten. Yes.
Okay.
If we're in a if we're in a desert survival situation, you could
Yes.
probably lick me for survival.
You could do that with anybody. Really.
His hair kind of flows in a slightly unnatural way.
Okay. Now, Saxtis is almost entirely a desert country. So though it's a nice-ish day, it's not. I mean, it's deserty, which is kind of weird considering there aren't like any mountain ranges nearby. Is anybody from Saxtis? Would anybody have historical knowledge of Saxtis?
I'm not sure.
No.
I probably would have no historical knowledge of much of anything outside of my.
All right. Can everybody give me a history roll, please?
12.
9.
12. 20.
All right. So you read in some random book in your old master's library of a conspiracy theory about Saxtis, how it has been drained of all of its precious natural resources because of its exploitation of the belly stones that I mentioned earlier in the neighboring country. Whatever force created that magic doesn't like that this country keeps exploiting. Maybe. So say the conspiracy theorists. Lovely. So it's a hot day. There are cactuses around, but they're not very nice cactuses. They're like purple. They've got like curved barbs, which is pretty weird. These cactus barbs are used in like first aid kits to sew wounds down to being curved and stuff. Does anybody have a healer's kit?
I do
I
not.
believe I do.
I do not.
I do.
Okay, excellent. And you're gonna need it. Thankfully, you have a watery boy with you who is able to keep you all from dying of thirst.
You're welcome.
Now there's very coarse grass that grows enough that your animals cannot starve to death. At least it's not the most comfortable for them. But they won't just flat out die. So on this fine morning, you are all traveling along the road. On the road that is they have a weird custom in this country of keeping their highway with tar to like hold it together in the middle of the desert, so you have a relatively flat surface to walk on. You're not just trekking through the sand. It's pretty nice. It means you're not like being forced to move at slow speed constantly everywhere. So you're trudging along this, and you see what may be a mirage up ahead. Everybody give me perception, please.
Okay. That's going to be a 19.
11.
8.
9.
10.
Okay, so Rortrin, he shades his hand, and he sees up ahead what is only, like, shimmering whiteness to everybody else. He thinks he sees a shack built by the side of the road.
I point that out to the rest of the party. Hey, folks, looks like that there might be some shelter up ahead. Hey, I see with my half-elf knives.
Do you actually mention that it's your half-elf and then flexing on the knot?
One is an elf eye, the other one doesn't see anything.
And the guy with other people's elf eyes isn't here, so...
Yeah, flex.
So yeah, it's about a quarter of a mile down the road.
How late is it?
What's that?
How late is it?
It's about 8 in the morning, but still very hot. And to the east, maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 miles off, you can see the looming gray trees of the neighboring country, kind of poking like tiny bushes on the horizon. It's a very flat desert where you guys are right now. That's how deserts work. Totally. So, there's this mirage of a shack in the distance. What do you do?
Well, I don't see it
That is true.
myself, so I
Now-
don't
once he points it out and you squint, you can say maybe it looks like a shack-ish.
I'm a little wary of it, so I'm going to drop back to the back of the line.
Okay.
Ragdal is indifferent. He's used to
Okay.
the heat.
I mean, we're not going anywhere really fast, so we're good for supplies. So if you folks want to, we can check that place out. No, at least for a little while. I mean, this is a distraction compared to this wonderful sight of a desert.
A single vulture flies overhead patiently.
Cause probably.
Kaz also gently. He's a gentle vulture. So you draw closer to this object, and you see it is indeed a shack made of a very dry, kind of pulpy-looking white wood. The boards that form it are warped. The ceiling is, the roof looks like flat, some kind of a clay flat sheet just kind of plopped down on top of this thing. The door is some kind of animal's hide, rotted and cracked, hanging over the front, but you see no windows. This thing is like 50 by 60 feet. It's respectable for one dude. You see nobody out front.
Well,
The sand is piled up and drifts against the walls.
so it appears to be uninhabited as it stands.
Yes.
No signs of any feet. No footprints.
No.
Or the like. All right then. And well, does anybody want to join me in exploring this little place here?
Sure.
I'll
I'll
go with
follow
you.
along.
That's fine.
Marching order. Who wants to go first?
Ragdal will go first.
Okay.
All right. Do you have a mini? Do you need a mini?
I don't have one.
Okay.
No.
I broke it again.
Oh.
That poor guy. I need to glue him together properly. at some
You might
point.
want to get like a different sort of box since that is kind of falling to
Probably.
pieces as well.
I have foam plucked boxes somewhere.
Yeah. You know, alright, I mean, I have that.
Alright, we've got a dwarf. The one we
Okay,
keep using
perfect.
just for all the dwarves.
Perfect.
Alright.
You're saying all dwarves look the same?
They do in our games.
Man.
Alright, so this is going to be the entrance. You going first in marching order? Okay. So Ragdal is here. Who goes behind?
I might as well.
First
I'm
tree
the
and
person
trade, so he's going to go third, I suppose.
Alright.
I'm the guy who suggested this place, so it would be a bit
Third?
predictable.
I'll take the
not
next.
to go.
We have the elf and the Genasi.
I need to hang back toward the door. Shush, it's beautiful.
Do you want to bring your animal inside?
Well, that's what I'm gonna.
Why are you not letting the person with an actual mule have the mule? Donkey creature.
It doesn't make any difference.
That's
Okay.
what I was given.
Alright.
I'm gonna hang back
Hang back.
outside a little bit before deciding whether to abandon my goat.
Gently petting your goat so that he does not fear. Alright. Push aside the door then?
He's up front.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you
Will
push
do.
aside the door. Push it aside. And you see what looks like a freshly deaded corpse on the floor inside. You see floorboards of somewhat probably the same kind of wood with the bark still on. A stringy, fibery sort of bark. Some sand seems to have blown in and is kind of strewn over the boards. Inside of this, let's see. This is actually a pretty big building. See, I don't know how distances work. So,
That is a big shack.
it is
Is it
a
like
big
the
shack.
TARDIS? It's bigger on the inside.
Or
It's a Pokemon house.
Pokemon house.
It seems smaller on the outside. It is kind of weird. This guy was a good decorator. He made pretty good use of space and lighting. He's got an oil lamp hanging from the ceiling that is still lit.
Outside of
there-
a corpse. That's not the best decoration.
there is a corpse right underneath it. He is. Let's see. Is a corpse of a man wearing what looks like dirty, stained linen. He is an elf. He is just kind of like flopped over on the ground. His skin is dry, hard, and bark-like elves do when they live their solitary, meditative lifestyle that elves tend to do when they're not living among others in cities. That lets them retain nutrients and moisture for like ever, because they're like cactus people or something. When they do that, I guess I don't know. So he's got a little mat in the corner.
I need to take a lot of notes. Elves turn into cactus.
Well,
Compared to like a human, an elf is more like a cactus.
That makes sense.
Is Rortrin half
depends on-
cactus then?
Yes,
I think it might be depending on the environment.
definitely depending on the environment.
And
yes.
one could turn into a tree, another piece of coral. Oh,
Pretty much. They just
Breaker may be the most cactus here, though.
it is entirely possible. Elves, they really just get leathery skin that just kind of changes color when they trance for long periods of time. Which is totally not napping, guys. They're totally not just sleeping all day. There's a rickety, big wooden chest right here. So stacked along the wall, this wall, is a whole bunch of earthenware containers of varying sizes. And there's a table right here with a half-plucked vulture on top. Lovely.
With a what on top?
A half-plucked vulture. And there is a very sharp-looking stone hand axe lying beside it. Feathers scattered all over the ground around it. It stinks of rotting meat, but the rotting meat smell is definitely coming from the vulture, not from the corpse on the ground underneath the oil lamp, which has a little vent beside it for the sake of whatever.
so how high off the ground is this oil lamp?
About 15 feet. Tall ceiling.
I'm going to see if I have Mage Hand. No, I do not. I'm going to say, hey, maybe we could divide who can investigate what. I wouldn't mind investigating like the vulture and hand axe, see what's happening over there, or if you guys want to take on different roles like examining the body and also earthenware and the chest and the bed too.
Before we enter, I'm going to go through the party and give everyone guidance.
Thank you.
So the
All
next
right.
rolls will have plus 1d4 to your next skill check.
Well, thank you.
Forget. Does guidance have like a maximum number of people it can?
Well, it's just a cantrip,
Okay.
so I'm just going to repeatedly cast it.
All right, and it doesn't require concentration.
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay, no, it is concentration.
It is
Yes,
concentration.
so I have to choose someone. Yeah. So we'll
All right.
wait before you check something.
Yeah.
Let's see
Gotcha.
if you need guidance.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
Let the cleric just bless you real quick.
Yes.
All right.
if need be.
I'll take I think I'll just investigate the body first.
Well, I will,
First.
I will give you guidance on that.
All right. thank
Do you have
You go
proficiency on medicine?
I have. Yes,
Then
I
you
do
should
have
tether
proficiency on
Yeah.
the mule
Yes,
to the
Alright.
goat.
In addition to
So
blessing,
they can run off together.
Ragdal, if
likely
you have
to run off
proficiency in
together.
medicine, you can
Nice.
aid him.
Hmm?
Give him
I
advantage.
do not.
Goat
Okay.
moves.
Does anybody else have proficiency in medicine?
No.
Okay. So
All
you're
right.
gonna have to be the hit dice healer.
All right.
Borrowing his healing kit.
All right then. So
Unless
that's
he
going
has
to be
proficiency in that.
total of 20. Hey, until as I examine the body.
All right. So you examine the body. You carefully prod it. Are you prodding with your hands or with a stick, or what are you doing?
I would assume with my dagger.
Okay, you prod the body with your dagger. The elf's skin has thickened considerably, as elves tend to in death, beyond merely what it is during their trancing. Seems to have died within the past 12 hours or so. There is still... the body hasn't completely gone into rigor mortis yet. I would say there's warmth to the body, but you're in the desert. Like,
That's
could have been
expected.
dead all day, it would still be warm.
Is the body bloody? Are there wounds on
There
it?
is no blood or wounds on the body.
Any
The elf has choked, but you can't tell what it choked on.
Oh boy.
It seems to have choked on its own saliva.
Well, I'm gonna
Or was
say-
strangled with something that didn't leave a mark. Who knows?
I
say
relay
he
that
knows.
information that this gentleman was strangled by something, or he choked on a piece of vulture flesh. One or the other. Sure.
We've tied the goat and the mule outside.
Okay. Poor animals.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
There's plenty of space for them inside. So the body has been examined.
Body has been examined.
And Nicassius, is he going to examine the sleeping mat?
Yeah, I'm going to take the dagger and kind of poke around. And what
All right.
kind of a mat is it?
It is like a woven bark mat.
Okay.
Not very thick. Really just to keep you directly off the ground.
Lift it up, look underneath it with
All right.
the dagger and such.
There is a piece of paper underneath the mat. And on it is written some scribbles that they kind of look like a treasure map, but you don't recognize any of the features on it.
Okay.
You find no other bits of interest of the sleeping mat. And eventually I'll learn people's names. Crypt, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go check out the big chest
All right.
over there.
You're
I will give Crypt guidance. on
Okay.
where we're going with that.
This chest has an iron lock on it that looks like it requires a skeleton key, a key that you did not find on the elf's person.
Okay, well, seeing as I don't have a key, I'm just gonna swing at it with my hand axe.
All right, can you give me an attack roll, please?
It's guidance.
Do
With
you
that?
get guidance with that?
Ability checks only.
Okay. 10? Yeah.
All right. You hit it and make very little dent in it.
Not
You just
enough.
kind of scrape off. Technically, you didn't hit the armor class of it, but it's a thing sitting right there. You wanna? Anybody else want to have a go at it? Actually, great. Or you
Anybody
could
have
try
lock
again.
picking tools?
Yeah.
Or anything of that
Well-
nature?
I could just go at the chest itself rather than walk. See if I can break
Okay.
a hole in it. 19.
All right, you smash into it. It's not as sturdy as the lock is, which seems like bad design, maybe. I don't know. And can you roll me damage, please?
Yes. Sorry.
All right. You tear away some of the wood, but you still haven't made a proper hole in it.
No.
If you keep swinging, you will eventually make a hole that you can stick your hand into. And at no point in that do you break anything inside. So it's a good job.
Yay.
You're able to rip off enough of the top of it. It's quite a sight. This imp just kind of clambering onto this chest and smashing
He
at
does
it.
have very
grabbing
small
onto it.
hands.
Tiny little hands.
How big is the chest?
It's like 3 by 8 feet.
Okay.
Oh,
so
that's
yeah.
a
okay.
Considerably bigger than you are.
Yeah.
A casket.
I mean,
Do you touch something squishy inside?
you reach inside, your hand collides with a few things, you hear a clinking sound of glass and metal. And you pull out a glass flask stopped with a cork that has a viscous green liquid inside,
Cool. Delicious.
with little particles of something brown. And if you keep
Tasty.
pulling stuff out, you'll find a set of rich red and orange robes that probably belong to this guy. They're made of fine dyed cotton. Look, if they're worth quite a lot. They even come with a little cap, which you need in the desert and stuff. And you also find a long sword wrapped in linen.
Okay, what was the second thing that...
A set of fine red and orange clothes.
Can I use my proficiency with brewer's tools and my knowledge thereof to attempt to identify the bottle?
Yes.
Those last two things are both
Please
considerably
give me an
larger than
investigation
you.
roll, adding your proficiency bonus.
You just gonna
Let's
drag
pile
them
them on one of the animals.
Oh, that's
Fine.
not 20.
Excellent. So this is, for some reason, stored in this flask, which is not like a thing anybody does for anything except for potions. But this is a very fine liquor that is, you don't know of its origin, but it has been clearly distilled from a very fine vintage wine. You pop the cork and just give it a nice sniff, and you feel the heady aroma of not only the alcohol, but also what seems like dozens of herbs that all complement each other beautifully. This would be very valuable to a person of distinguished tastes.
I'm going to say if we can save these items for later, I have a way to detect magic on them. I can't identify them per se, but I can tell you if they're magical or not. But that's going to take me 10 minutes per item.
The shadow grows when you say this in the room.
Right behind me, I take it? Or?
Just kind of. It's. Can everybody give me perception, please? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's going to be a 9.
That's what I get for
Is
not
that
playing.
thing
18.
still active? Or-
You have not made an ability check yet,
Okay,
so
so
yes,
that-
you can have it.
Nice.
You didn't need it anyways.
So the two of you. So everybody else, you figure the oil lamp is just flickering. The two of you notice the shadows grow almost imperceptibly darker in the room. There isn't any clear spooky ghost or anything. The light isn't necessarily growing dimmer. The shadows everywhere just grow a teeny bit darker.
The shadows.
The
They've
shadows.
grown slightly darker. But there's no spooky ghost.
I'm too distracted by the liquor.
I have to tell them because they didn't have their eyes open.
Hugo has eyes to see shadows. I don't know. Let him look at the liquor.
Yes, indeed.
Crypt's a bit unsettled, but not feeling threatened.
Okay.
Hey.
I mean, you've been around this kind of thing before. Wizards just do this for fun. Gandalf does this all the time. I don't know who Gandalf is, but he does it.
Has this been communicated to the party? Or
I just communicated.
Yes.
Sorry, I was reading my character sheet.
No
That's my
spooky
fault.
ghosts, dimmer shadows.
Gotcha.
Yes. If that item, the sword that was wrapped in the cloth, it has a sapphire in the pommel. The hilt seems to be made of silver. The grip is made of some kind of a polished dark wood. And that's everything that was in the chest.
Can I tell with my smithing background if it is of high quality or not, or if it's
Yes.
just kind of...
It is of elvish make. It
Elvish
is not an ancient elvish make weapon. It's not like an artifact. But clearly some kind of a family heirloom. Something this guy had enough respect for that he's keeping it locked up.
Right. I'm going to now head over to that stone hatchet and the bird and such and examine around there. And I'm going to use my Arcana to see if I can sense anything in particular.
All right,
Sure.
so
Sure.
just looking for things that are magically familiar.
Yeah.
Give me an Arcana roll, please.
Okay, that's going to be a total of, give me a moment, of 14.
All right. So your immediate thought is that this guy was just, making dinner. But as you look closely at the cuts that were made with this tool, and the fact that he's using a stone tool, when he has several metal implements and he has fine craftsmanship quality of stuff everywhere around, and the fact that you don't really just pick up a rock that's a suitable tool for that in the desert, you believe this is some kind of a ritual. This vulture is a black bird, and you are aware of some rituals that require the sacrifice of a black rooster.
I'm going to pass this along, and I say, I think he was trying to do some magical ritual, but he was doing this with improper items. Considering that this is a vulture, and what I know of to be used is a rooster.
I don't see a lot of roosters in the desert.
Here.
Well, they're not looking hard
Yeah.
enough.
And that really,
They come out at night mostly.
and then I look up and I turn towards the earthenware and I say, well, that leaves one more thing to look at.
Did you say that the vulture was partially rotted? Or am I
It is partially
misremembering?
rotted, yes.
So it's considerably deader than the
Yes.
guy.
One of its eyes is kind of hanging out, pretty nasty. It's all bloated.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It does smell like rotting meat, but it doesn't smell like the bloat, the gases you would expect from the decomposing innards, if that makes any sense. Which it probably doesn't, because I don't think that's how they do it.
I'm going to take the stone hatchet, though.
Breaker rather finds the idea of using a vulture in a ritual to be abhorrent, so I'm going to go shake these out nice and
Alright.
far away from it.
I'm going to give you guidance on that.
Well, I think.
Alright.
And since I am proficient in stonemasonry, may I assist to grant advantage on that? Or
Okay.
does that make sense?
That's okay.
Okay.
Are
So
there any
Am
blizzards
I
on them?
stacking too many bonuses?
when you're giving people guidance,
Yes.
do you like pat them on the shoulder? What are you doing?
I touch them once, and then for 1 minute,
Okay.
I mean, we're looking at a pot. I'm
like-
not sure how difficult it's
So are you
going to
just
be.
like touching them? Like in character, what are
I'll
you doing?
fist bump their shoulder
Awesome.
as a dwarf.
I just
That seems
glare
appropriate.
at you. Dude, not cool.
Him with a
You
mallet.
feel like destiny surrounds you. There.
Excellent. All right.
I am
Or
both
what that
okay with this
means,
and
but-
not okay with
As
this.
you-
Are these open containers?
Yeah.
They all have
Or-
earthenware
Yeah.
tops on them. They
Okay.
don't seem to be like
How
sealed
big
with
are
wax
they?
or anything. They're lots of different sizes. They range from like this big, like this big, this
Well,
big.
I'm just going to start in the corner and work my way.
Okay. So add your add a D4 to it and make it at advantage. And we're just going to assume that he's guiding you through all this. So just keep adding the bonus.
That one.
Glad you had advantage. Ooh.
Oh,
22.
So you're carefully inspecting these. You open the first one. There seems to be butter on the top.
On the
You-
top?
It seems like
Inside of it,
it
or
seems
on
like
the
it's
lid?
just an earthenware thing full of butter.
Oh, okay. Well, you said on the top.
I did say on the top, didn't I?
I thought you meant on top of the lid.
No, under
That's
the lid.
gross.
That would be
You
pretty
don't
gross.
butter your jars? Who are you?
Stranger
It's like you
things
don't
have
cook
happened.
things in the desert. Come on.
This is Taylor.
Have you
am
never
not
investigated
putting
one of his
anything past him.
He says there's an earthenware pot with butter on top. You're going to imagine an earthenware pot with butter on top.
An actual stick of butter just sitting.
It does seem to be like congealed. Like it's really hot in here, and yet the butter isn't melted.
Anyway, well, I don't have any interest in butter. Y'all can
Okay.
have some if you want. It looks delicious.
So moving on to the next one.
All right. So the next one. Give me another check, please.
Oh dear.
I'm not going to make you roll for all of these. I do have groups in mind.
D4.
Are these all at advantage?
Yes.
Oh.
With a D4. Additional.
And I do D4.
It's over on
Closest
your
to you.
left.
12. What am I rolling? What kind of
Investigation.
Oh, okay. Okay. 13.
All right. This is full of shriveled eyes.
Ew.
You think they're albino raisins at first, but they aren't.
An albino raisin? Well, that would have been way better.
Albino grapes do exist. They're a delicacy. They're called marble grapes. They're beautiful. They also kind of look like eyeballs if you peel them. Well, these are shriveled eyeballs. Definitely not raisins.
I'm really regretting
Can you give
coming
me a
into
wisdom
this room.
saving throw, please?
Oh, good. 19.
All right. So you don't test whether these are raisins by eating one.
No, I don't.
You just look at it.
I had to roll for that.
Yes. It looks so tasty.
They were
You've
just
been
that tempting?
eating- Do you know what rations are made of? Not tasty things. This could have been the tastiest thing you've seen in weeks, but it wasn't. It was an eyeball.
Well, dodged a bullet there.
Absolutely. You just almost became a cannibal. Are you a cannibal if you're
I am not
a
a
Genazi? And you eat humans?
Separate races.
Why would I eat
True.
a human?
Because you almost failed your wisdom saving throw.
Well, I'm half human, so I would be half cannibal.
That's a good point. So there are 55 of these raisin eyes in here.
I counted them.
You gauged it
are
by
really good.
you
at that.
kind of eyeballed it.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
You feel the warmth of the emerald surround you, and a number pops into your head.
This may or may not be one of Emerald's domains. Just counting the body parts of your enemies. It is very important. You got to know how many right hands you're going to offer as sacrifice. So you could just count the dudes, I guess. Also, so
Shuffling to that exceptionally large.
yes, there is one very large thing here.
I'm going to open the one nearest me
Okay,
down there.
this one there.
So are you guys doing this simultaneously, or can I? One of you wait so I can.
You just
guide
gotta
both?
run back and forth, just
You
fist
can
bumping.
effectively do it at the same time.
Okay.
All right. So,
When we get close enough, you can just.
George, Nicassius, do your roll, please.
This is with advantage then?
At advantage, add a d4.
Let's see.
I do not envy you using that die.
18, 11, so 18.
You don't think a white on white die is.
Oh, shush. Used
That
to
one
have
doesn't even have numbers.
That's 1. 19 be 21.
Excellent. So you open this up, and it is full of vinegar.
Pretty. I'll just stick my dagger in the vinegar and
Okay.
feel around and see if there's anything in the vinegar.
There are slices of cactus in the vinegar at the bottom.
Pickled cactus.
It's pretty tasty.
Maybe it's just an older elf.
Could be.
Maybe he
wow.
was the one that was cannibal.
Okay.
Wow, I wish I thought of that. And now the big one, we're going to say that all these smaller ones, they had the pickled cactuses. Have you ever had pickled cactus? I bet it's
I
tasty.
have not.
I've had rattlesnake,
That's a completely different thing than a pickled cactus, but
but from the same
Can
environment.
we fortify our rations with pickled cactus?
Absolutely.
How many rations worth of pickled
Um,
cactus could we make?
You know, I'm a harvester. I could roll for that.
But you're not harvesting, you're just finding a thing that's in a
That's true.
thing.
You're probably more likely to be better at it than Ragdal, who works with stone and metal.
You find 9 pickled cactuses in total worth of rations.
Oh.
In total, you guys can add 9 rations to your pool.
Okay, so we're up to
Who wants
49.
to who wants to keep those? Anyone have a?
I have some sacks.
When you
I
said
have
30 rations,
almost
was that a
empty
piece
saddlebags.
or total?
That's a piece.
Okay.
These are in total, though.
I
I'm
had
assuming
10
you're
to begin
just
with, so-
supplementing the rations you already have with the pickles,
Yeah.
allowing you to make more meals of them.
Yes, makes sense.
All right then, and the big one.
The big one.
I'm searching that one.
Yep.
Yes.
And you get
Plus
guidance.
D4.
So
Don't
16.
add your D4.
D4.
17,
17.
18,
And what was that result?
18. 18.
18 total.
Alright, so this jar is gigantic, actually. It's taller than you are. How tall are you?
Oh, I honestly hadn't thought of that. I just average human height.
Okay.
Say 5'10".
Alright, it's very slightly taller than you.
Okay, so I'm bro fisting up. To
So you open this up, and it seems to be full of rocks. There seems to be a bit of, brown moss at the very top of it.
I
Great.
turn to my companions and say, I got a rock.
Actually, I need some
Can I
rocks.
tell what kind of rocks they are?
Yes, they are rough bits of granite, a kind of granite that is not from around here.
How large are they?
Yay big.
Yay big being, how much do they
Half
weigh?
a golf ball?
They weigh golf balls.
Oh.
Yes.
How much in total would it all weigh?
A six
don't
foot,
know.
A 6 foot tall container of rocks? A fair amount, I'd
A
say.
fair amount.
Isn't
Enough that it would take combined strength score of 40 to move it without much effort.
Does anybody happen to have a hammer?
I have
Going to go
tools,
check on
so
the
I assume so,
animals.
yes.
Alright.
I was going to suggest that
You have
we
a hammer,
could
don't you?
take a hand axe or
war
a hammer and we go into the side
Use
instead of
what?
digging through or moving through this.
I have a hand axe.
You want to break the side of the...
You guys
Well-
have crowbars or something in your adventure specs?
There's a
I
you know
do.
the tool that was on the
There's also
table
some.
with the vulture.
Yeah, that's a hatchet. I get that.
The animals are fine outside. They seem happy to be able to rest for a bit. They're sitting in the shade of the building.
It's a very chill goat.
Well,
I don't have any appropriate tools for that.
Well, I can get it open. I just need a stone that's about 1 pound. Or actually, you know what? This hatchet, this will do. I set this down onto the ground and I say, "Clear the way, folks." Clear the
Why do
way."
we need to break it?
Well, I want to see what's inside of it
Rocks.
because it's unusual.
There are rocks.
Yes, but there may be something
Maybe something
underneath
else
the
on it.
rocks.
So just clear the path. Just clear the path, folks. And all right, and I'm going to set the axe about 10 feet away from it.
All right.
And
Move
I
it up
say,
to the thing.
watch this. And I'm going to cast
no.
catapult on the hatchet and send it careening into it.
Alright, so what is your somatic component for catapult? What does it look like?
Somatic. That's a verbal,
That's
right?
your hand.
Yeah.
Hey, no, I'm going to.
Gonna make a slingshot of your hand. That's amazing.
Yep.
And the hatchet whips from you. And can you make me an attack? Oh no, it makes
It's actually a
it-
dex, and
and it
consider.
automatically hits since it's
Yep,
an
and
enemy
it does 3d8
Excellent.
damage. Okay, so
Right.
that's going to be 15 points damage.
Right, it smashes with thunderous force into the earthenware container, which cracks down in the middle, almost explodes. This thing was really ready to break at any time. the rocks pour to the ground, and from the middle of it falls the withered corpse of a female elf with a shock of brown hair on her head. She has little potato roots coming from her exposed arms and legs. A little bit of water dribbles out from the bottom.
Are elves also known to turn into potatoes?
Not necessarily. You know, can you give me...
Well, I'm learning new
Give
things
me a
today.
history roll, please.
God.
At advantage, please. Because you come from Elfie... No, do you come from Elfie country?
I know
Yes.
Elvish, so I've had some dealings with them.
Okay.
And I rolled terribly both times.
Okay, you have no idea what's going on. You are an elf who comes from Elf country.
Rortrin, would you like to inspect the body? I'll guide you. while you
Yes,
do it.
yes. I will investigate the body.
Alright, yes, investigation, please.
Okay, that's a natural 20.
I
plus,
feel like this may be bad to have so many natural 20s so early. I
Yeah.
feel like...
I already paid for. I got a 1 the next roll.
Yeah.
That day, so.
Yeah.
as all things should.
Yeah.
Alright, this elf clearly has little roots growing from her arms and legs. She has a very peaceful look on her face, despite being withered. She is wearing what looks like similar kinds of clothes to what was in the chest, but they're very faded, and they're kind of like rotted. Ooh.
Rortrin, is this normal for elves to turn into plants upon decomposing?
Can I roll history just so I know of dryads? I know about dryads and such.
Roll. What would that be? Arcana or history?
I
What do you think
that would be
is?
history.
I feel like history.
All right. Roll history, please.
No,
You don't.
I don't. No, I say no.
Honestly,
I've never encountered
Guidance.
something like this before.
You really don't know much about your heritage. You were just kind of raised in the woods, away from elfin lands.
I point to the elf on the floor and say, that one's turning into a tree, so anything could happen.
More like a potato.
Well, no, the other one. The first one.
Nicassius,
Yes, sir.
is there anything that you want to share with your companions about this? You would have knowledge of this process, being an elf from Nalil.
I don't think I'm familiar with elves turning into potatoes.
Okay,
At least
You
they
give me a
didn't in
history
the area
roll.
I grew up in.
history. Okay. Did you come from a city or from a little commune or?
I started off in the commune, went to the city.
Okay. So
I ended up with a 16 for this.
Add a D4 as a guidance.
19.
So you know that there are some rituals and rites that the elder elves would have taught you had you stayed around for another few decades. You assume this is one of those, but you've never seen it or heard of it. They certainly didn't do anything like that in the city. Yes.
So, can I extend my arcane senses if sense anything about her? Or if there's any...
Give me an Arcana roll.
That's going to be a 19.
I don't know, bud. You're not really getting anything. There are no obvious runes. There is no prickling of magical static around her skin.
Any metal on her?
There is no metal on her.
I say, well, this is interesting. This whole thing is interesting. And putting together this place, I think that she was his wife at one point. And he was caring for that jar there. Here.
She was a lich.
Son of a lich. And I guess he died just of possible unnatural causes, but I'm thinking natural because no one raided that chest, near as we could tell. Oh,
So he had his wife in a jar.
Yeah.
And was watering her, hoping one day she would sprout.
I mean,
She did, sort of.
some people
She was
view
starting
the
to.
garden as their children, and sometimes they use fertilizer for that garden, and sometimes that garden is fertilizer is their family.
I don't like this metaphor, and I don't know if it is a metaphor.
Are you trying to tell us something?
Well, I've seen a lot of things as a harvester.
Oh, no.
Let's just say I've seen what people do with the spare parts that they don't need.
You have seen a fish person plant a human to make their corn grow. It's pretty morbid.
This is why I live with my goat. Goats don't do things like
They
that.
do not. That is 100% true. You don't even need to make a nature roll for that. Crypt. So you see this elf corpse fall on the ground. Do you have any thoughts on this matter?
He doesn't want to go touch it.
That's understandable.
Is just kind of watches it and then just walks back over to the door. Is like,
Okay.
I think we're done here, folks. Folks, with that in mind, you know what? Does anybody happen to have a way to get that oil lamp? Maybe we can use that in the future.
yeah, I was thinking about grabbing that.
I don't have a way to. However, I'm going to carry the vulture outside
Okay.
where it belongs.
Rortrin, do you have
Pulls
some
away
space in your pack?
Oh, I got some sacks.
What pulls away?
How much more do you think you could carry?
Let's see.
Any idea?
Well, between a number of between 1 and let's see, and 105, I think I'm getting up towards about 70. Hey, let's just say, hey,
Good.
There is also a couple beasts of burden outside that their owners may be convinced to
Can-
help carry some stuff.
No, they
Can anyone
can't.
carry 20 days worth of my rations for me?
oh sure, I can do that.
Since
yeah,
I
no,
trust
happens.
Rortrin the most, I will pass on 20 days worth of rations.
Thank you kindly.
Pickles included.
Pickles included.
Okay, I just opened up another sack.
Excellent.
Here you go.
So you can scrape the vulture onto the ground and kind of nudge it along if you wish.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna pile the stuff that I got, except for the flask on the. Was it a donkey that you had?
I have a mule.
Mule. I'm gonna put it
There's,
on the mule.
there's space in the saddlebag if you want to put something in there.
Okay. You place the things you found inside the saddlebags. Yeah.
Yeah.
The vulture is outside.
Can I take 40 pounds worth of the stones?
Absolutely.
That's a lot of stone.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a
with-
stoneworker. I can make trinkets with it.
Very
It
good.
seems like high quality stone.
Yeah, I
What are
mean,
you
if
gonna-
they were about a pound or so, I would just ask you to make little fists and such, so when I cast catapult.
Yeah, I'd also like to take an amount
Okay.
of stones.
All right. You grab 6 of the stones.
Thank you.
The vulture is outside. What are you going to do with the vulture?
Just leave it for the wildlife to come do
Okay.
with it what it should.
Nicassius, do you have something to do? Or to say?
No, I'm pretty much done. I'm just
Okay.
gonna go.
Did you grab the note?
Yep. I'm just gonna go untie the mule.
All right. You untie the mule. All right. Was anybody going to grab the lamp?
I can't reach up to it. I'm only 5'6". Is there like a rope or something attached to it?
It is hanging from the roof on a rope,
I don't know.
not
how
attached to the floor.
I can't get to it. I can't.
Unfortunate.
Well, this one's very small and light. You can just toss them up there.
I don't have any strength. Like I'm a bit of a chubby boy, but at the same time, hey, I got.
Can't imps
Oh,
fly?
And,
I can't fly.
You can't fly.
No.
I think that's one of the things that
Wings
was
are
stripped
stripped.
from him.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
just
if
kind of
anyone,
lost them after a while.
if anyone does want to do any tossing, I can guide you. In that.
You know what? How about that rope? Oh,
Yeah.
you say it's lit and such, so
Incredibly so.
I'm
Off
going
the
to
chain.
use Lich Slap, Chill
Alright.
Touch, to snuff out the flame,
Okay.
and then I'm going to use it again
Isn't-
to.
Isn't that a touch spell? Or isn't that?
No, it's a range.
Okay.
It is neither chill nor touch.
Good.
Hey,
Such
Love
a
it.
stupid spell.
that's why I call it Lich Slap.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good. And then I am going to.
So you reach out with necrotic energy, put out the flame, and rock the rope away?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to try to catch it then?
Yeah, I'm
I
going
will
to
try to catch it.
All right.
I'll stand beneath
Oh,
it.
yeah, we're going.
And they bump into each other and just fall.
I will give myself blessing.
Okay.
Alright, good luck. Alright. So.
Can
get
you
the
give
rope.
me a sleight of hand roll, please?
Sleight of hand, okay. Plus D4. So that is a 16 total.
You catch it. You're sloshed with a little bit of foul-smelling oil. It is not on fire anymore, so that's okay. This is a little lamp carved of the same stone that was in the things there. It's got a little handle on each side. It seems to have a cotton wick kind of being held up in the middle. There's rancid olive oil inside it.
Mm.
Well, in case we
Who
need
wants to
to
take
get
this?
something on fire, we can toss it.
Actually, can you give me a religion roll?
Religion. 12.
Alright. There are runes of some kind etched on the inside of this, below the current oil line. But you are not familiar with them.
What do these runes mean? Anyone know?
Well,
You can read Infernal, can't you?
I can
Correct.
read Abyssal.
Abyssal.
I have Infernal.
Okay, they are Infernal, not Abyssal. So you look at these runes, and they are... they are names of very minor demons. To you, they're kind of like the titles of low-level bureaucracy of demons who just go around causing trouble, like almost poltergeisty level, but they're demons and not ghosts. And one of these is covered in soot, as though it was just recently burned. So yeah,
Ragdal does not like this.
in fact, I'll remember this. Yes, you guys exit the building.
We exit the building and we look to get back onto our track so we can
All right.
continue on our journey. How long has it been since we entered?
It's been like 20 minutes.
Would I have had any kind of contacts with them, or
With who? The demons?
yeah, the ones listed?
Not that you're aware of.
Like,
You don't know much about
would I-
these guys, you just kind of know them by name.
Okay.
As if you, recognize the title of, captain. Though you do, of course, draw the parallel with the darkness encroaching from before, but unfortunately it means nothing to you. A lot of your really specific memories have been clouded by the breaking of your contract. It's part of your being bound to this plane. You're no longer so much a part of the infernal burning hills. So you breathe in the nice arid dry air that doesn't smell like decaying flesh, except somebody dragged a decaying vulture outside. So right there, it does indeed smell like rotting flesh, but not everywhere else. See, you guys just left the two elves inside on the floor, is that correct?
I don't want one, do you?
I don't want one.
I know.
Ever.
That's why I'm giving them to you. I don't want them.
I think Ragdal will burn the corpses.
Okay.
I think that would be a good idea.
Cleansing fire.
The one that had the roots on it kind of writhes a little bit, and then stops moving. The one that you believe just recently died doesn't move at all, because it's dead. An aroma that smells like burning cedar fills the house, and as you step outside, a little wisp of smoke drifts out the little vent.
Crypt, you have the fine liquor, right?
Yep.
You're gonna get turned tonight.
Alright, so.
Party at Crypt's house.
Party at Crypt's corner of the campfire.
Alright, so we continue on our way as
Continue on your way.
wayward sons.
Yes, indeed. Are any of you, quote unquote, pathfinding? You're on a road, but is anyone of you scouting ahead or anything?
I'm pretty good with nature. I think I could do this.
Okay. How far ahead of the group are you going? Or are you staying with the group?
I'm going to stick with the group. Going forward as a wizard at level 1 pathfinding.
No, by all means do. The vulture is just waiting for you to separate.
No, thank you. So I'm going to stick with the group. We're going to move
Alright.
with this.
Make me a survival rolls.
Okay, survival. Right. That is going to be a 14.
Okay. You, with your sharp half-elven eyes, you keep shading your eyes. Are you wearing any kind of a wizardy hat?
No,
Okay.
I look more like a trapper than an
Okay. Are
actual
you wearing
wizard.
a fur hat?
I'm wearing a winter wolf cloak.
Oh my! How are you not dead?
I'm wearing it lightly, like I have my
Okay.
arms out and such.
So you have
Basically,
very
I have to walk.
sweaty
It
shoulders.
says it slung jauntily across his shoulder.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you shade your eyes with one gnarly, and after some time, after some hours have passed, You do believe you hear a clanking in the distance, and you see the wink of sunlight off of metal. You only see this moments before other people do, but you do hear it a little bit before them.
I hear a clanking sound from over that direction.
Moments later, I hear it too.
Indeed.
Good job.
The goat appears to hear it as well. By the fact that it twitches its ears when it does, like it does when it's annoyed.
No. Does anybody know what that mysterious clanking sound is?
Does it sound like a forge?
It does not sound like a forge.
Does it sound
Ragdal
like
has no idea.
It sounds like chainmail clanking.
Is there any sort of cover around where we are?
You sure it's not just Ragdal's chainmail?
Well, you're kind of going up a hill.
So, I think it's over the crest?
It is over the crest. You just you see a glimpse of the gleam before it disappears over the crest. There is a large cactus that you could potentially see over behind.
Are we sure it's not just a very old elf?
It could be a very old elf. I don't know. You'll have to find out.
That died during the date doing the Macarena.
Can we insight check?
Give me an elf sight check.
Elf sight check, yes.
Okay,
I'm now going to suspect
Insight
every
versus an
cactus
outside
we see.
check.
Oh, shit.
They both have cactuses.
Elf sight? Perception, I take it?
It's a cactus, yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was a good thought.
Alright, so I'm going to say, hey, folks, I think we might have some company up ahead. Just don't be surprised if that turns violent and such. And I think we're going to slow down a little bit as we approach. Go to the crest.
Are you guys slowing down to the point where you can make stealth rolls?
I can attempt to, but I'm covered
Okay.
in chainmail. So
We're in a-
stealth rolls more.
We're
Hey,
the,
bet
we're the
you
only
can't
thing
deny.
standing out in a big open desert.
true.
Huh?
You could.
I mean, we could stand behind the
Yes,
conveniently
but
shaped
Not
sound-
necessarily
cactus
going to
and
do
go
it
like
well,
this.
but you can still try.
But sound will travel over the hill where sight does
You can
not.
crawl like, worms up the desert hill.
I have taught my mountain goat
Stick
to,
your little
to
heads.
crawl.
How far is it to the crest of the hill?
1/8 of a mile.
Should we send a scout ahead?
Who's the best at stealth among us?
Well, we have one of us that's very small.
I have a 6.
That's pretty good.
Sure.
Plus 6
It's
to
really
stealth.
good.
Yeah.
How'd
That's
you
better
manage
than
that?
-1 and disadvantage.
My dex plus proficiency.
You're pretty special.
You have a +4 dex. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're heading
Yeah,
Alright,
towards
so
are
I'm
you going to
gonna-
get blessed by that? Or for that?
So yeah, send
I will give you guidance.
bless the gremlin.
Sorry, yes.
Blessing is a spell.
It is indeed.
8. Wait. Yeah, helps if I add that. 14.
Yes. Okay.
That's a little better.
And so you carefully go to the top of the hill, poke your head up, and you see a fairly small figure, like a small, medium-sized creature, not a small creature, who is riding a very old-looking pony, who seems to have chainmail on and kind of like a ragged cape over it, and a little tiny metal cap.
The pony is wearing all of these things?
No, I'm sorry.
Sentence structured.
Yes.
Okay. Just being
Rider
clear.
on top
The
of
pony does have like a, it has leather barding on some kind of armor, not the chainmail. There's a figure riding it though, who is wearing chainmail, a little metal cap, and a cloth cape. The figure is slouched over. The horse is not going very fast. Sorry, pony is not going very fast.
Does he look like he could be any kind of threat?
He does have a sword in a sheath by his side, and there's another sword in a sheath that is attached to the pony.
Probably not much of one, considering our number.
Is one dude.
Yeah.
Does not notice.
Okay. So I'm gonna head back and go his information.
Alright.
Alright.
Was he moving in a direction?
Was going,
Is he armed?
Yeah, he
was
was
going
armed.
the same direction as you guys.
Yeah.
Were we stopped while Crypt was...
I don't know where you guys stopped while it was
Probably,
going
I'd say so.
Yeah,
probably.
I would say that we should stop while Crypt is going
Okay.
ahead, otherwise it's going to mess with it. Like, hey, oh no, I got this valuable information, and I just need to get back up. Hi, Crypt.
If you make a loud noise, you won't see Crypt coming.
Exactly.
So
now he's a considerable distance ahead.
So you guys
An
stopped.
old
Crypt
pony
came
is
back,
not
relayed the
going very
information.
far.
Now what do you do?
Well, we could ask him for information on the road up ahead. Yeah, he doesn't sound like much of a threat or much of a scout.
You want to go up to meet him?
Well, I am pretty personable.
Do you just say that out loud?
I'll join you on
Well,
that.
I am pretty personable.
not very personable, but I am very imposing. So.
Yes. I think I'll go up ahead.
Okay.
Ragdal will
unless
join.
anybody else wants to join me.
I will.
I'm
Okay.
gonna
Anybody
come up
else
as
join?
well.
Well, the whole party should just go, but you can be our spokesman,
Yes, but
being
we'll
so
be slowed
personable.
down by the pack animals. So.
The guy was not
You wanna
going very
catch-
fast up ahead.
The pack animal slows down.
As
The
far
pack
as if-
animals
if
don't
you
go at the
want,
same
if you want to
pace.
get up to him,
But we're not gonna, run.
if
You
see us-
guys were already going faster than this guy was. That's how you were able to catch up.
It depends. Do you want to close on him quickly, or do you want to
I don't have any
let
interest
him know that we're coming? And
No, I think we can just go up to him at a regular pace and
Alright.
say
Well,
hi.
then, off we go.
All right.
So, are you guys trying to be stealthy, or are you just going to spy?
We're just
along?
going to saunter right up. Oh,
Right.
up and over a hill. Just give it a wave and say, "Hi, ho there, sir."
You saunter up. This guy jerks up in his seat as he hears and sees you approach. Almost falls off his horse. Does not fall off his horse. He's clearly very uncomfortable with these people who just kind of came up over the hill and are now waving at him. He grabs the hilt of his sword, and his hand is clearly shaking. He does not draw his sword. Says, "Hello.
Peaceful days to you, good sir.
Peaceful days to you too." He's a young man, probably in his mid-20s.
So about my age.
Can I tell the quality of his gear?
It is not very good quality. It has not been well cared for. It doesn't seem to be very good craftsmanship to begin with. His sword is in a scabbard, so you can't really tell the quality of that. The hilt looks better quality than the other stuff of his. He has a week's growth of beard on his face, and he seems very pale and dirty.
Are you a scout for a nearby army, or are you a road warden of some kind?
He seems to think for a moment, apparently trying to decide what to tell you. He says, I am an adventurer. Yes.
Do I believe him?
Can you give me an insight roll?
8.
Do I believe him?
Insight. Anybody want to give me an insight roll?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so that's going to be a 14.
8.
14.
19.
We were counting
Alright.
on you.
So he is, to those of you who got a 10 or better, he is very clearly not telling the whole truth or leaving something out. He doesn't seem to be like a terribly malevolent, sinister person. Maybe. He's clearly scared to death of all of you. He's kind of like puffing himself up when he says that he's an adventurer. It seems more like he's trying to make himself sound mightier than he is, rather than trying to make him sound less threatening than he is.
How long have
Are
you
you
been out
sure
in the
you're-
desert?
I'm going to pipe up and I'm going to say, hey to him, are you sure you're an adventurer, or if you're not just lost?
No, not lost at all. I was the son of a mighty banker, the greatest banker in all of Siberia. But I was stolen on a journey and taken as prisoner, so that my father's enemies could extract from him all of our riches.
I don't need the backstory.
No, I'm not finished. But I have evaded my captors, and I am off to seek adventure. He draws his sword. It shines in the sun. It's not great. It's decent quality. He waves it around a little bit. Clearly doesn't know how to hold it. Almost drops it. Then he tries to put it back in its scabbard. He keeps missing. Then finally gets it back.
Where did you get your gear? If you are so rich.
All of my things were stolen. This is just what I stole from my captors when I made my daring escape.
That it just happened to fit.
It doesn't fit very well. It's a little too big. He was made for somebody way more muscular.
If you want, good sir, why don't you hop down the high horse and you can join us, because I feel like that if you continue on this road riding as you are, you're more than likely going to fall and break your neck.
Well, if you say so. The horse looks near dead, by the way.
Yeah.
So he slips and falls off his horse. He's going to take 3 bludgeoning damage.
Not impressed.
He says, sirs, I must warn you, my captors cannot be far behind. I've been riding hard, day and night, for 3 days.
From which direction were your captors from?
He stares at you blankly for a second. I don't recall. I just found this road earlier today.
Well, were you kept in a forest or in the desert?
No, we were in the desert.
Alright.
Beneath the great sun.
How did you not pass us on the road if you've been riding hard?
I just found the road today.
Oh.
You were just trudging
I
through
was
the
just
sand.
right. I prayed to my ancestors, and they told me in a vision that I would find civilization if I rode in a straight line.
Are you sure it's not just lack of water and...
I have plenty of water, he says, holding up a nearly full single water skin.
Oh! You haven't been drinking it, have you?
It doesn't taste very good. I'm used to finer things, being a son of high society. But perhaps, with the strength of all of you mighty heroes, we could form a fellowship ourselves. Conquer these villains who took advantage of my situation and take the great riches they have amassed from people such as myself. And then I promise you, when we return to my father's lands, he will reward you handsomely.
First off, you say he's the greatest banker, but
Yes.
at what level of the organization of the bank does he work at?
He overwatches dozens of other bankers in... I forget which city.
His middle management.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm going to say to these folks, I don't even have a single gold piece on me. Hey, I think, we work with him. If we kill some bandits, good. But if we could just get like a few pieces of gold, that'll set us up for a little while.
Organizationally, my father is only among the 8 greatest bankers in capital Kirio. However, he is of rich and noble character, a gentle and powerful man full of courage and wisdom, and is therefore the greatest and stronger of all the bankers.
So he's the greatest banker in more of a metaphorical sense.
In a spiritual sense, he is destined for greatness when he dies, I promise you this. And I will follow in his footsteps, and be almost as great, maybe.
Since Ragdal believes him.
You don't necessarily believe him, but you don't necessarily think he's going to stab you in the back as soon as you turn your back.
Well, then Ragdal's vote is to help him.
Okay.
My vote is to help him, but with the promise of, if we get it, the money from the bandits and any reward, or then we divide it amongst ourselves. Elves.
How close to death is his pony?
He's going to die very soon. I don't think there's anything
Please don't
you
eat
can
its
do
heart.
to save
Different dude.
it. We'll see.
Well, we got
Duncan
plenty
didn't
of-
start that
Just
way.
a matter of time.
Well, it looks like I got myself a nice horse hide.
I have a
Oh,
question
yes.
about shape water.
Yeah.
Can I use that to extract water from the nearby cactus?
Can you read me the text of Shape Water, please?
No.
Okay. You should have that spell in front of you.
I should have it in front of me.
I have it right here.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
One moment, please.
All right.
I know it's in a book, but I don't know where I can find it
It
quickly.
is
So-
in Sandcars.
So while you're talking about that, so the guy, he calls himself, one moment.
Hello, one moment. I'm reading.
Okay, I have it up.
Okay. His name is Rillian Momont. That's his last name because of you, thank you.
William what?
Rillian Momont. Yes.
He
That works too.
5
Thank
feet
you.
of water. She needs a 5
You
foot
can
cube
instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of water as you direct. So can I?
You may
use
not
that to-
extract water from it.
Bummer. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you had like poked a hole in it and water started gushing out, you could make the flow of it like instantaneous.
Does a
But
cactus work that way?
you want to
Like,
give me a
I
nature
mean-
roll?
The cactus actually do work that way. Hey, you would just need to pop it open, but at the same
do,
time,
welcome
it
to
would
nature.
be...
21.
All right, yes, cactuses work that way. Or you could just poke it and let it flow out, I suppose.
Well,
Do
then it would
old
just
elves
fall
work
in the
that
sand. I want to use that water to give it to his horse so it doesn't keel over.
Are you gonna like make a straw of it in midair and just kind of like?
That
You may
sounds
do that if
amazing.
you wish.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
If the horse would cooperate.
if you
and
do
drink
that-
way,
This is cactus juice.
This is cactus juice, which is
It's
incredibly high in
still
electrolytes,
he'll do well
which
with
is probably good. Is there anything else in a cactus that I should know about?
being our
some,
foremost cactus expert.
hallucinogenic properties.
You know this, having the high enough nature.
Is
roll
that
to-
true?
You know what? If it's not true in real life, it's true here.
Okay,
Dear
sounds
God.
good. Is cactus the new cinnamon?
Well,
This was always.
Okay.
between the horse dying and the horse having, some kind of weird drug trip in the desert, I suppose the weird drug trip in the desert is preferable.
Probably a
So
little bit.
I will try to keep it alive.
So you kind of snake the water out of the cactus into the horse's mouth. The horse resists at first because this is not okay.
This is unnatural.
I do have a +4 to animal handling, so I can.
All right, you want to make me an animal handling roll?
Cool.
Breakfast. Blessing.
Oh, okay. Does that give me a reroll or
Nope,
a
just the plus D4. Unfortunately.
+4?
That's
So
helpful.
All right.
13, yes.
Okay. You hold the horse's mouth open. It's too weak to resist. The water snakes down its throat. It begins to choke.
God.
But unfortunately, the horse is not strong enough that its muscles can resist the magical flow of water. And you hydrate it against its will. You feel dirty. But the horse begins to hydrate. It goes stiff in your arms. And then falls unconscious on the ground.
I claim the hide.
Please
It's-
remember
it's
to water your horses,
Unconscious,
people.
not dead.
Its tail begins to twitch. It
Okay.
begins to snore. It burps once, and then it's silent.
Can horses even burp?
It can when you snake fluids into their
That's
stomachs.
fair.
Horses were not meant to drink that way. You have
I don't think
bypassed their
anybody
natural
was.
mechanisms.
Anything was meant to. Yeah. Anyways,
Anyways,
what is the reaction of our noble friend?
He seems entranced. He says, "I gotta learn to do that." And he tells you how there are 8 bandits who are big, strong, buff dudes, but all incredibly stupid. And so he was able to use his quick wits and philosophical training to outsmart them, to free himself. Somehow his smarts allowed him to cut the ropes, I guess. And to steal the gear and to ride the pony to the sunset.
How far behind you do you think they are?
Well, to tell the truth, I imagine they'd be here like any moment, but they're not like here yet, so...
Perception check for me.
Alright, you climb on top of the hill.
Blessing.
Thank you. That's going to be 18.
Alright. You don't see anybody.
I don't think they're very much interested in you.
Oh, they must have already gotten in contact with my father. He must have already been setting the treasures. So they don't care about setting me free. I suppose I'm just lucky they didn't kill me before I escaped, being a loose end. You could
Incredible.
prosecute them in any court of law.
Well, I suggest that, anyways, you can come with us and,
They have a big sword, a really ornate big sword with spikes on it. We should go capture that from them.
you know what? I think we might want to set it. We
I
might
can
want.
make any sword you want.
Yeah.
But okay.
Poor guy.
I'm going to be very honest with you people. You seem like kind and honest heroes. I desire a not very noble revenge against these people for imprisoning me and dishonoring my family.
Well, I think we're okay with that.
Ragdal is not, but he will not go against the party. If the party votes otherwise.
How much for each body?
I will give 100 gold per body.
Do you?
I mean, my father will, because I don't have the gold.
There you
Because
go.
they took all my gold.
I would like to have that in written form.
I don't have any paper.
I
I
don't
have
know.
paper.
Is not the word of a gentleman enough, sir?
Can he promise his
Can
father's
I make a
gold
stone
legally?
tablet out of the stone and form a contract with it with my stone masonry?
He's just sitting there
If you give
chiseling.
me 3 hours, you can.
Okay.
Well, it'll
I
take
think
a while
we
for the
need
horse to wake up.
So
Alright, you guys want to take a short rest?
yeah, I think that
Or
would be
a 3-hour
welcome.
rest, I suppose. You guys can rest in the shade of the hill, which is, I guess, more of a dune. It will be, like, noon by the time you guys go to traveling again, which will be really hot.
Yeah, well,
Ragdal embraces the heat.
Lovely. Ragdal takes no... do you have resistance to fire damage yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
and I'm back up to 2
But
spell
the
slots.
heat of the flame is familiar to that.
Yes.
How far away does he think these people were originally?
He's been riding hard for like 3 days and 3 nights.
On a
he says.
On a pony, so that's 150 miles.
Not even on the road until now.
Not even on the road.
Oh.
And he claimed that when you found him, he was riding hard all day and all night, and he was going like slower than you guys were
So anywhere
On an
between...
almost dead.
on a normal. And you guys had a goat and a mule with you, donkey, whichever it is. I'm sorry for forgetting.
We do have more rations than we expected now.
Yep.
Maybe afford a small detour.
He does have 3 rations with him.
Will he eat them?
He doesn't seem to think they look very tasty.
Eat them? Or we're going to have to drag you through the desert and you're going to be eating sand.
Alright, he's going to try to stomach one of them. And surprisingly, he manages to choke it down. And follow it with some brackish water. Lovely. One of you can give me a survival roll if you want to try to figure out the path he came from. Did you guys decide you wanted to go, or do you just want to keep on your way?
I think there's only been 2 votes so far. I don't know.
Let's see which direction he came from.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
roll survival all with myself.
Blessing.
A blessing, thank you.
Okay. Well, you rolled a nat 1.
But that is going to be a 9, so...
I got
All
a
right.
19.
It isn't that one, though.
Which technically rules as written doesn't mean anything, but I
yeah,
like it
but-
to mean
yeah.
things.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
Wow.
that's fair.
Are
So,
you fist bumping
I'm
me?
probably
If
going
you
to
are
shoot.
left your devices, you are going to wander to the
12.
desert and never be found again.
If anyone ever wants to just hold their fist out to me, that is a sign you want guidance.
That's what the plus 4 to
Fist bump
survive.
you.
Excellent.
Alright, so I'm going to suggest, we should probably stick to the road.
Raise your hand if you made your decision, if you want to stick to the road.
I don't have any vested interest in helping him myself, so I'm going to
Okay.
follow what the...
So the
Party
vote
decides.
goes to follow the road. He seems dejected, but seems to understand this is the reasonable path. Says, all right. I suppose there are worse things to do than become a fellow on such a glorious adventure such as this without taking dastardly revenge like any ordinary peasant. By the way, what is our quest?
Our quest is currently to get to the next country.
Oh. Okay. What's the next country? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where we are.
We're going for
I was blanking
Shina
for a long time.
as... What is that? Shana?
Looks like it.
Are you guys going east or west?
I think we're going west.
Okay, so you're going into Shannon. Yep. To the capital city is where this road leads.
Yep.
So, all right. So he says, "Oh, that doesn't sound terribly interesting, but it's okay. I'm sure they have a postal service there. I can send my father news of my joyous recovery." And so once the pony wakes up, it seems in much better spirits. Still very withered, but much better hydrated.
Maybe a little
It keeps
hungover.
kind of making laughing whinnyings, and it looks with quite a lot of fear at Nicassius at all times.
Is that Breaker, you mean?
No, I mean Nicassius.
Oh.
What did you do to the pony?
I don't know.
But aside
Maybe
from that,
confusing me for you forcing water down its throat.
aside from that, it tolerates itself.
I am a handsome blue water
As you're
boy.
traveling along,
Nothing to
Brillian
confuse me.
tries to learn how to dual wield longswords.
Speaking of the longsword,
Yes.
Crypt currently has it on them, right?
Yeah, I have.
The elves one?
I'm
Yeah.
going to recommend we
No, that
conceal
was-
that, as it was a family heirloom that we took off of a dead person.
That was put onto the mule.
So maybe...
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe
Well-
put something cloth over it. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wrapped in
It was
cloth when you
wrapped.
found
Okay,
it, so you
that's
just keep it
perfect.
there. In addition, this guy had his longsword. There was another longsword strapped to his pony. So he's trying to learn how to dual wield these. He doesn't cut his arm off when he tries to practice, but he doesn't know how to use one, let alone two, so this is not going to end well. So you guys continue along. And you travel through the hottest part of the day, and you continue...
Isn't that
until-
exactly what you shouldn't do in a desert?
Yeah, you shouldn't.
We should have rolled higher on survival.
You guys could have said you rest until evening. You still can if you
I don't
wish.
think we rolled high enough to have that kind of thought.
You guys have been traveling in the desert for a while. You know what to do. or not to
Ragdoll
do.
embraces the heat.
You're all a bunch of sissies.
I'm evaporating.
Okay.
Would you become smaller in size if you take enough heat damage?
Oh dear. Maybe. I just become a raisin.
Excellent.
Eventually.
A raisin or an eyeball?
Ooh. In the dark sun setting, you can be a genasi of like sand and sun. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys travel. You're able to stay in the shade of dunes by traveling a bit off the road at points, taking rests when you need to. And evening comes, and though it's still hot, the relative coolness and darkness falls over you all, and you settle into your favorite part of the day.
Right, so we're going to get our, well, is there any place for us to set up, like, a campfire at all, or no?
You could.
Okay, so...
There is a grove of cactuses. You could, a few quick swipes of a blade will knock all the needles off of one side, and you can kind of huddle up to it.
Yeah, remember to get the water from that, so you're...
In case we need to put more horses to sleep.
well, also because it dries out the cactus, too. Kindling.
Is that going to be your signature attack now? Just forcing enemies to sleep by force feeding them hallucinations.
Manipulate the environment by forcing cactus juice into the mouths of your enemies.
Well, right. I'm going to say.
A lot of dexterity saving
so,
throws coming in this campaign.
How's the watch going to be set up, folks?
Ragdoll will take first watch.
Alright.
Alright.
Anybody else?
I don't have a preference.
Okay.
I guess I'll take the second watch, but also, Crypt, you mind if I take a look at those items that we found earlier? Sure,
Yes.
so I can just see if I can detect anything about them.
Or I just don't take them.
Alright.
Alright. So I'm going to sit in my dark corner of the fire, and then I'm going to start ritually casting
What is
detect
the-
magic.
What is the blue one? Sorry.
That was the dead corpse.
Okay. I was like, who?
We just dragged him with us.
It was ironically a snow elf.
We thought we could use him for kindling.
Burned him.
So I'm going
You
to
could.
do ritual.
Alright.
detect.
Ritual casting detect magic. Alright. You do doodly things with your hands. Is anybody else doing downtime things?
I will once it gets to my. I guess I could say it now. I'm
Okay.
going to tune up my armor using Blessing of the Forge, just to have it every
Okay.
night, and while doing that, kind of meditate and pray to the Emerald
Okay.
before I fall asleep.
I'm gonna sit somewhere over in the darkness, drumming and just watching.
Okay.
It just.
Excellent. The horse is staring at you in trance. So what were the things you were detecting magic on?
I was going to detect it on the items we found from the chest.
Alright.
Yes. I will start with the sword, obviously. Hey.
There is a magical aura surrounding the sword, an aura of enchantment. But there is a blocking spell on it that is keeping something bound into it that you cannot identify.
Yeah, right. I'm going to.
There is a trigger to activate the magic, but you don't know what the trigger is.
I'm going to go to. I'm going to say to Crypt, keep a close eye on this. Be very careful with it, because there's something in here, and there's a way to activate it. I don't know how. Oh, so Don't let it go.
Release
But
the
don't-
demon sword, like anime style.
Show it to anyone.
He's gonna take the sword, just try twisting the handle, see if that.
All right, nothing happens.
Be very
Just-
careful with it. And immediately tinkers with it.
What did I just
Good thing you gave it to the imp.
What did I just say to you right in front of my face?
Try rubbing it with different random
tried that one
fluids.
yet.
Here comes the first party wife.
You know what?
The imp opens a book with a lot of basic instructions for releasing curses.
Yeah.
Praxis Michaels.
You know,
Here we go.
I'm just going to hold on to
It's
it.
from a magical dictionary.
A second thought, I'm just going to hold on to it. I'm just going to keep it right
He
here.
tries pressing the end of it, end of the handle like a
I'll
bike.
take it away then.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Got it. And I'm going to go for the rest of the items.
The clothes are not magical. The fine spirits are not magical. And that was what was in the chest.
All right. And the clothes, are they for a man or woman?
They are like loose clothes that you just kind of drape and knot around you.
Okay, so
They're kind of just like sheets more than
Did we keep the oil lantern?
yeah, we kept
You
the
did-
oil.
you
Did
did
you
oil
check that?
And I will check that.
Yeah, that is definitely a magical item of the necromancy school.
Shit. Be careful
And
when
also conjuration. But
just to let you guys know, careful when lighting this thing. Be careful with rituals around this thing. Oh crap!
maybe be careful putting it out. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Don't give it to the gremlin.
He did use necromancy magic to put it out, though. That seems like maybe the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Okay. So when we're able to identify this stuff, we'll hold on to it.
Alright.
And
Did you guys light a campfire?
yeah, I would assume that we did.
Okay.
Like,
So when you light a campfire, the oil lamp lights.
oh shit. Is this in someone's bag when it's lit?
Well, it was full of rancid oil, so I don't know. What would you guys have done with that?
I didn't take it. I handed it off. I
Did
didn't like the
anybody
rooms.
actually take it, or did it actually get left behind at the shack?
Like, take what?
I did
lamp?
not take it.
No, I would assume I would take
Okay.
it.
How did you carry it?
I would carry it on the back of my pack, like attached to it. You
Okay.
know?
It did have like a handle on each side, so you could have tied it to the top.
Yeah. So
So when the fire was lit, a little flame goes on the lamp on top of your pack.
Does anything happen with the runes on it?
ready
Nothing,
my warhammer. Ready to strike.
nothing happens with the runes on it.
okay.
There's no glowing, no resonating, no laughing, no shadowing.
Ragdal dislikes this perversion of fire.
It
I don't like
is
this.
not a very hot fire, you notice, if you go near it at all.
It's holy flames, but they're...
Does your perception of the magic in it change at all when it lights?
Nope.
Okay, this is freaky. Let's try not to unleash any sort of eldritch horror today.
Maybe tomorrow.
Set it down and I'll golf swing it away, and we'll never have to touch it again.
Well,
It's
we
under
could
your
also
pillow.
sell it to a nice
Your pillow's on
religious
fire.
order, too. Ooh, and get a little bit of gold, maybe a little bit of information about it, so we can avoid such a situation in the future. So I suggest that we keep it. We keep an eye on it, but we keep it.
What kind of nice religious order would accept
Maybe a
objects
nice order of
necromancy?
paladins who understands what sort of thing we're dealing with here. Could be welcome.
Or it could be a dangerous sign that we invaded on this territory of somebody potentially dangerous.
Maybe we should bury it before it attracts something evil.
Maybe we can bury it during the evening, and then during the morning, we dig it up, and we take it with us.
Burying objects filled with necromancy sounds like a brilliant idea.
Better than
You're
leaving
not
it out
wrong.
in the open.
Better
I
make
still
sure
like
you
the
bury it in
golf swing
somebody
idea.
else's grave.
It might attract some kind of evil moths.
Potentially.
Right. Can I use my Arcana sense to see
For what?
what I have to do to turn it on, so I can avoid doing so?
You can scan your memory for knowledge of this, yes.
That's going to be a 10.
No.
Nope.
You do not know.
Okay.
You remember how you turned it off last time, but you have no idea how to permanently turn it off.
I have mold earth. I could bury it 5 feet deep really quickly.
And then you can pull it back out in the morning. Okay, I'm all right with that. So, anybody else all right with that?
I'll move the sand. Make a
Ragdoll
big.
still wishes to destroy
pit.
it and or
Okay.
get rid of it, but again, he'll not go against the party.
All right.
Toss the lamp in the pit.
gently put it down into bits because I don't know if cracking it's going to unleash anything that's inside of it. Yeah, so
The lamp is now safely beneath 5 feet of sand.
All right.
I say we force our noble friend to deal with it.
To do what?
To do any interaction with it that we need. He can carry it, he can bury it, he can whatever.
But you can't trust me. I am the newcomer. What if I was an evil sorcerer who was...
Are you?
No.
Judging
What
by
if I
your
was?
use of long swords and your equipment, I'm really not threatened by you at this moment in time.
yeah.
I'm more of a finesse fighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I can also tell by your components and also your arcane focuses that's just festooned around your body.
What if I could make them invisible? But I didn't because I'm not. But what if I could?
Well, can you?
No.
Then there's no problem.
I think
Right,
we're
of
good.
course.
Alright then. And, well, with that, I say good night. Hey, gentlemen.
All right.
I go first watch.
All right. Perception roll, please.
7.
You fall asleep.
But I have to tinker with my armor.
I know. The sound of your own tinkering lulls you to sleep, unfortunately.
ASMR, what did I tell you?
The comfort of a fort.
And you guys... Wait, you know what? Give me a constitution saving throw. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
That's probably fair.
7.
You fall asleep. When you all wake up, you are in a somewhat different place.
Oh.
Your campfire is, like, in relation to your campfire, you are exactly where you were, leaning against whatever rocks or cactus stumps or whatever that you might have been. But the dunes are in a different pattern around you. There is a pair of big white skeleton trees, like right here, a good 20 feet up. And there is no road in sight.
I knew we should have broken the letter.
Can the two of you and anybody else who looked at the map give me a perception roll, please?
Alright. And that's going to be a total of 8.
13.
This
Okay.
specifically says I'm amazing with maps. My
Well,
guy
You may not have.
disagrees.
Why would I have shown
You don't care
the
about the map
he
because
said
you
everyone
understand
can
that
see
in
the
the
map.
desert, sand just completely changes where you are every night.
The trees don't generally rise up out of nowhere.
Well-
Roads don't disappear.
Except you've always believed they have. Just nobody believed you when you said they did.
You probably
no, I'm
also
sorry.
thought that deserts were just oceans.
You just,
Sorry,
you just,
sorry,
you
sorry,
just need your coffee is all. So what was the highest roll?
I had a 13.
I wasn't looking at the
Okay.
map, so I don't know.
Did
I
anybody?
got 9.
21.
Okay, that's somebody got a high roll. So you're looking around and you're thinking that's weird.
Is our noble friend still with us?
The noble friend is he's still asleep when you're all awake. He's like flopped out. One of his legs is like buried in the sand for some reason. These surroundings remind you of the sketching you saw on the map. Which is pretty weird.
The treasure map, right?
The treasure map that you took from underneath the old man's little rug there.
I will get that out and take a look at it. See.
If you stand on top of that dune right there and you look down and you compare to the drawing, it looks like the scene that you're seeing down below.
Should I unbury the lantern?
I'm assuming the lantern's anywhere near us.
Okay,
The lantern
should
is
I look?
buried in relation to you guys where you were.
Well, that was very kind.
Okay, well, I removed
Nice of
the
you to
earth. If
come
you
along.
want to get the lamp, you can. I'm not touching it.
Hold my hand ready to strike.
You lift it up and it is still lit.
Oh,
Blow it out.
is our fire still lit?
No.
You know, I can call upon arcane
Would you like to try
energies,
to blow
but
it out?
still,
Yes.
Okay. It quivers but does not blow out.
a lunch slap.
It goes out.
You're just gonna keep throwing magic at it.
Your
So
surroundings.
what, if anything, is marked on this map from the shack?
Good question. There is an X marked on the map. A few hours travel south of you.
Well, considering where we are, and considering that this I'm assuming this lamp has led our way here, and I'm getting the feeling that we may be playing its game. We may have to play along with this lamp. Yeah, find this treasure.
You're gonna take orders from a lamp.
Well, considering where we are and how odd
Where
that
are
is.
we, anyways?
In the middle of the desert.
That's all we know.
If there were
Fantastic.
stars ahead up above,
Does-
maybe you could have.
Does the treasure map offer any sort of hint as to where the items on the map exist within a larger region?
No.
Fantastic.
There are some, what you assume to be more of the skeleton-y trees, kind of marked at certain intervals, with little squiggles that seem now to be marking distance. It seems to purely lead you from where you are to the X.
Do we see the trees in the distance like we did before of a neighboring
do not.
country? So we're farther from that than we were before. Okay. Which was south? Which with that knowledge in mind, could we tell kind of which direction we
Yes. So you guys you do not see a river, you do not see the forest, you do not see the road. So you are probably inside one of the big chunks of land in the bottom country there, where there is no other features in the distance on any side.
What hour of the day does it appear to be?
Like 6 in the morning.
Well, if we're going to follow the lantern's path, we should do it before it gets hot.
I think so as well.
begrudgingly agree?
Alright, so 1 day of rations used up, folks?
Om nom nom.
No. So, how about we use the cactus rations first? For everybody. So that puts it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Just
6.
effectively adding the cactuses to existing rations to just increase the
I'm
number.
just going to eat one of my regular rations until I see what the cactus rations
Okay, you
do
know
to
what?
these
That is-
people.
I saw what
Absolutely
the
fair.
cactus did to the pony. I'm not sure I want to eat a pickle.
These
These
are
are
pickled.
pickled, yeah.
A
I'm
pickle
not.
covers a multitude of sins.
I'm not
Pickled in
convinced for
one,
any
though.
reason that
Some
pickling a
vinegar.
cactus removes its hallucinogenic properties.
Just the
Maybe
liquid.
it
God only
enhances
knows
them.
what else you put in.
That's true. They do smell spicy.
Can I use my stonemasonry to create like a little cap to put on the lantern so it doesn't light again?
Yes, you may.
Okay, I will
Thank
do
you.
so. Cap off the lantern.
You give it a little cap. It's cute. Right. Your noble friend Aurelian wakes up. He does not seem at all phased. He doesn't seem to realize that his surroundings are any different than when you went to sleep. He
No
just
wonder he got
asks.
lost.
He just he asks when you guys are gonna set out again.
We're going to set out shortly.
All right.
As soon as you get ready.
Do I have time to practice my swordsmanship?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Wake up earlier next time.
Oh, okay.
Do we tell
I
him?
usually
that-
have servants to wake me up. Can one of you wake me up?
No.
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 I will for a fee. A silver piece a day, I will wake you up.
Of course.
Do you have
Thank you.
the money on you, or
No.
are you going to take a range
We've
check?
been over this. My father will pay you when we reach him.
Alright, so this is going to be a range check sort of situation.
Of course.
Anyone keeping a tally?
Anybody gonna bother notifying him of the new plan, or the map, or
Well,
Where's
the
the
lantern,
road?
or anything?
Do any of you have a broom?
sadly we don't have the broom, but we have a general direction.
Oh, wonderful.
It's that way.
Lovely. What a wonderful day for an adventure.
Yeah, well, adventure is usually someplace far away in someplace about 10 feet deep in shit.
I
And
don't know what that means. I feel like you're making a metaphor, but
Yeah.
I don't know what a metaphor is.
This is the adventure.
I'm sorry. He doesn't say that. He just seems confused. He says, alright then.
hey, so we follow the map.
Huzzah.
And I think since he has the slowest mount, he should take the point
Yes, I
and
believe so.
set the pace.
Alright. So he takes the point. Would you want him to make the survival roll, or are you just going to guide him?
You know what? I think I'm going to guide him.
Alright.
Walk with him, guide him. You know.
Can you, you're going to assist him? So
Assist.
too. Well, it's a good thing that you were assisting him. He still only rolled a 5. But it's okay. It just takes you a long time. The horse keeps winding, is the problem. He doesn't really seem to know how to drive a horse. But it takes you about a half hour longer than you think it will to reach the point. You do weirdly see trees, these white skeletal trees, every couple hundred yards or so. You feel like you should see them a long time before you come upon them. But they just kind of seem to come up almost out of nowhere. They don't, appear while you're watching, but it's like, oh,
We just noticed
I
them
missed
late.
that tree. And at the end of this time, you hear and see no other living creatures. Not even the poor vulture up ahead. You were not racing with a tender corpse at any point over the past day. He probably starved to death a long time ago.
Oh.
You reach the point on the map where there are 3 skeletal trees triangulating a patch of silt, which is nasty stuff, which will pull you down and drown you if you fall in it.
Don't fall in that.
It's about 5 by 6 feet.
Okay.
Brillian he falls off his horse again. It's going to take some more damage. And he says, "All right. I feel like we should be seeing the city by now. Why are we stopped?"
Seeing
Small
what city?
detour.
Okay,
Nobody told him about the treasure
where are
map.
we going?
Well, no.
You're not going to murder me, are you?
We're going
No.
on an adventure. Shush.
You wanted to be an adventurer.
I am an adventurer.
Well, now's your chance.
All right, what are we going to do?
Well, mold earth, and we can dig here.
Did the lantern react at all to this location?
The lantern does not seem to react. No.
But then again, it has a plug in it.
It does have a plug on it, yeah.
Okay, take out the plug.
It is not light.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
So
I
this
can-
is where the X is, correct?
Yes.
I can dig as much dirt as I can, which is a 5-foot cube.
All right.
Or how fast can you do that?
I don't. It wasn't specified. I
Is
don't
that a
know.
cantrip or a leveled spell?
It's a cantrip.
All right, so you can just keep doing it. You can grab a block at a time.
Yes. Does anything happen
One
after
action.
the first
And it'll
5-foot
last for an hour.
cube?
Okay.
After
Is it
which
require
time?
concentration?
Nope.
Right, where is it? Over. So range 30 feet. Dirt or stone.
Basically, take it out,
If
move
you
it,
cast this
and
spell
pile
multiple
it
times, you get
someplace
no
else.
more than 2 of its non-instantaneous effects at a time. Okay, so if you're just excavating
picking it up
you can
and
just
moving
keep
it.
doing it. Yeah. All right, so you grab blocks of the silt, you move them, and they kind of just flop, dribble into the sand. And the pool kind of closes in on itself. This is a long, laborious process. You're kind of just putting your fingers on your head and staring at the sand. And it keeps moving. Does anybody want to do anything to assist with this?
I'll assist in trying to determine where exactly this treasure could be.
Okay. Give me investigation, please.
You got it. Can I get some guidance on this?
Can do.
Thank you very much.
There are
bro.
little eddies in the silt.
Okay, so well, guidance as well.
They seem
So
to be pulling away from something.
that's going to be 18, 23.
All right. You finally point and say, "There!" And, not Duncan. Breaker. Causes the silt to pull away from what seems to be a casket-like thing of the... I mean, really, it almost looks identical to the chest that was in the elf's house. I don't say hut, because it was more like a warehouse. But you see, an identical chest to that kind of poking out of the silt.
8 by 3?
It's about...
How deep is it?
It's about 15 feet down.
I have a rope, but no way to.
Who's the strongest among us?
Not me.
10.
7.
I'm exactly as strong as
7
Duncan.
total. I have 14, so I guess probably me.
You're a little stronger than your average baby bear.
Yes.
I guess I'll aid in
I-
pulling that out.
I gotta remember this. I can't be thrown gigantic gates at you guys and expect you to lift them.
I guess we'll tie a rope around one end and we can pull this out.
How are we gonna
Who's
tie the
going
rope?
down to go tie the rope?
Can I just see if I can feel any energy that's maybe necromancy in your
You know, I could do an Arcana
Okay.
check.
Um,
being a cleric. And,
Do you have a feature lets you do it, or just as like a clarity thing?
It's just like an Arcana check or something.
Okay, you can both give me Arcana checks if you want.
And that's going to be a 12.
Okay.
6.
All right, you see no runes or any kind of menacing things on the outside of the box. You cannot feel any aura things without using some kind of additional feature.
Yeah.
I have Entangle as a spell. Can I use that to cause roots to come up out of the ground and lift it up for us?
Can you make roots come out of a place where there are no roots?
It says grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground. It doesn't say existing grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground.
So you could do it in a dungeon. So grasping roots. That's on.
Okay. Is that Entangle, is it?
Entangle, yes.
Alright.
So if I'm just conjuring these into existence, I assume that it can also grab
Okay.
a box and lift it up out of the pit.
It
for
turns
us.
it into difficult terrain, and
Okay.
a creature in the area that
But do I need to be concentrating on the mold earth to
You
keep
know what?
the dirt out of the way?
I got an idea. Make a ramp
Make a ramp out of
Awesome.
dirt?
into that where that is, and we can just walk it, lift it up, pull it out.
I mean, just, instead of just digging this hole straight down.
Why do we
True.
need to pull it out?
Well, so we can
Why not?
examine it.
Can we examine it down there?
Do you want to?
I wouldn't
into
stay
the
down
quicksand?
there.
Oh, is it? It's still in silt.
Yes. There's still quite a lot of it. Breaker is just making
You know, I
space
can-
for you
I
to
see.
Just make a very steep staircase in the.
Okay.
I
You
mean, if
can
I'm
only-
manipulating the dirt, then I can make it harder, right? Not.
Yes, you can. You can only do 5 by 10 feet. You think you can make a staircase going down the 20-something feet? Could you make a ladder?
Oh, could you make a ladder out of
I-
dirt? Or just like footholds in the.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself, but then you have to lift it up. But
Just
we need to just get somebody
Take
down
a
there.
rope and lower somebody
What
down in
other-
there. Somebody very small.
What other materials are in the area? There are those trees.
And they can check
or
it
there's
out.
Just
The very dead wood, some
very dead
rocks,
wood.
sand.
Does everybody have rope?
actually,
have rope.
don't we have several draft animals as well that we can
Yes.
use? Okay, so yeah, we all have rope.
Tie a rope to the gremlin. Lower the gremlin down. The gremlin can attach the
Yeah,
rope
it's
to
a
the box, and then you can haul it up.
Okay, well, I give the imp
my rope and say,
You've
Here
got
you
no
go.
choice in this matter, by the way.
don't worry, we'll pull you back out in case something horrible happens.
He does not seem to trust that idea, but he doesn't think that he can escape us, so.
Oh, poor Crypt.
Don't worry, we need your body. Hey,
I'll give you guidance. Don't worry.
Tie the other end of the rope off onto the mule.
He escapes
All right.
one person and finds 4 others to use.
Alright, so you're lowered
You're very
down.
useful size.
Alright, Crypt is lowered down the rope into the silt pit, with the silty walls looming around him, waiting to swallow him up. So you plop down, and your legs squelch into the silt. Can you give me a survival roll as you tie the rope around the thing, the chest?
17.
Alright.
You have blessing too.
Bless it.
Oh,
Or
okay.
guidance.
Yeah.
Uh,
Add 2 to that. So 19. Alright. You get the rope tied around it, and then you cling on for dear life.
Yay.
All right, let's get this going.
And make sure the silt moves in just enough to be threatening.
Alright. Would you like to bless the donkey?
Yes.
Mule.
I'll give the donkey guidance.
The donkey's mule. What? I'm sorry. What is it again?
It's a mule.
It's a mule. The mule
The
strains
donkey.
every muscle on its
You
body.
know what? I'm
tenses.
going to aid it. Hit by
Just push
I
it
know
from
the
behind.
weakest person, and I'm just going to be like, I'm going to pull on a rope.
Ragdal will also grab the rope.
All right.
Having the strongest member of the party.
I'm just going to lead the mule.
Okay.
It's
Whatever
one of
it is. The donkey.
the donkey.
now.
You all give it your all, but it feels like the earth itself is sucking this thing down.
Can you
Into the
dig
hole.
below it? So, there's a little bit of space.
Can I just cause the dirt underneath the box to lift up?
Absolutely.
Oh, how about
Elevator
that?
like? I'm an idiot.
When you do
Oh my
so,
It takes a lot of brain power to move dirt.
the
Leave me alone.
shell you are creating around the hollow, keeping it from just devouring them, closes up. And you are immediately swallowed up by the silt. Can you please give me a wisdom saving throw?
15.
You avoid making an inhalation of the salt in your shock, and you just clamp your nose and your mouth tight, hold on for dear life, and feel yourself being pushed up from underneath. The mule is going to make another athletics roll, and you guys together can assist it later. I just make the attack.
Okay.
And with a popping sound like a cork coming out of a potion of liquor, the imp and the chest come flying up out of the pit and land with a thump, a rattling thump in the sand. And that's where we're going to end for today.
Alright.
Thank you
That was
all.
good.
You're welcome. It's a good game. See you next week, Taylor.
Yes.